Hello everybody and welcome back to Victoria, where we are currently dealing with a few rebellions here. We of course have to get these dealt with before we can further expand, which is the goal for the time being. We'd like to further expand primarily in Africa at this point. We're going to get a bunch of power plants done soon, and that's going to be very good for us, of course. What we really want to do is start getting this deficit down. Our deficit is a wee bit of a problem. For the time being, I'm wondering about our radicalism right now. I feel like... what's our legitimacy? Okay. For the time being, we could bump up our taxes. And I think that's not a terrible idea. So I'm going to do that. We're still going to have decent legitimacy for dropping radicalism, so that should be reasonably fine. And once we get all of these wars dealt with, and there's one of them, once we get all of these wars dealt with, then we should be absolutely fine. We're already turning a profit right now, even without our construction queue finishing up. But between that and the wars, yeah, we're going to be doing very well financially. So that's absolutely great. We're hoping to not have additional rebellions for a while after this one. We'll see what ends up happening with that. But the war with France is actually over. So that's great. Malcolm here could be demobilized, but I don't think we're going to. I think all of these wars are going to be done very, very soon. And I think they're not particularly large problems. Yeah, that's definitely the case. So these are all going to be done before the demobilization is probably going to tick down. So that seems okay. Han people are migrating from Austria-Hungary to the Greater Caucasus. Okay, we'll be happy with that. And there's the Mysore Liberal Revolt gone. So now there's only two remaining. This one over here is already done. We're just waiting on them to capitulate. And this one over here is going to be done very, very shortly. So that's wonderful. We have way too many troops over here, that's for sure. But it's okay. We're spending down our debt a little bit, but we have a lot of debt right now. 290k in interest is significant. So I would like to work on paying down our debt after this war for a bit. Our power plants are going to be finishing up soon. There is actually both of those capitulating simultaneously. So our troops are put down now, and we're making about 500,000 a week. The bigger part of this, of course, is going to be finishing up all of these power plants, wheat farms, just getting our construction done. 5,000 construction is expensive to run. No doubt about that. So for the time being, that's going to be what it is. I do want to check in here. Market access issues, wood and iron. Yeah, we're working on wood and iron. I do want to check in on railways here. We probably are going to need some. And that is indeed accurate. We'll get a few of these constructing. That will, of course, delay our construction queue ending. But that's not the end of the world. So we're going to get these power plants done in the home counties very soon, actually. And Lancashire is not all that far behind. And then Newfoundland, also not all that far behind. Wheat farms in Astrakhan, close to being done. Are these still at ridiculously negative construction efficiency? They're not good, but they're certainly not at minus 95% anymore. So that is definitely a step up. And these oil rigs. We probably want to move the oil rigs up, and possibly this railway as well. Something like that. Now that railway is going to be slow, but that's fine. We'll get the oil rigs moved up, we'll work on these railways, our power plants in Lancashire are going to be finishing up. And this all seems quite good to me. Yes, we want to get these power plants finished up. They are expensive. There's a lot of construction that goes into power plants. No doubt about that. So once those are completed, we're going to just fly through the rest of this queue, to be honest. Even with the negative construction efficiency in a lot of these locations, like Rostov, Crimea, Kherson, Astrakhan, even. Yep, that's going to be a bit. But it's not going to be too bad. So that's great. Luristan is at minus 17% construction efficiency. Yep, that all looks great. We have no major problems here. And we have no rebellions, which makes me wonder, should we do this? course we should. So we'll do that. We'll send Herbert Kitchener out here, and we'll see how this develops. If anyone else joins, we'll take stuff from them too. We kind of want other people to join this, to be honest. That would be pretty ideal. We'll see what ends up happening with it. Is anybody even thinking about joining it right now? They shouldn't be, but, I mean, Scandinavia is. I wouldn't mind... I think Scandinavia has some people down here that, yeah, Dominion status on Benin. And also Dahomey is puppeted. I think that's about all they have over here. But I wouldn't mind taking that from them. Okay, so let's see here. We're now able to have them side with us, or against us, rather. If Prussia were to join, we would look to take their territory in China. A civic coalition, huh? He can say what he wants. We have free speech. That's fine. So yeah, if Prussia joined, we would take this. And, I don't know, maybe some of their territory up over here. It'd be mildly awkward. No one has joined yet. We'll see when they do. How are we doing on our infamy? 426. Okay. Yeah, it's going to be a lot. There's no doubt about that. So we're currently dropping our construction. That's great. No, we're not going to join that diplomatic play. That's not going to be a thing. So each thing that finishes up now is going to be saving us additional money on our next paycheck, which will go towards paying off our debt. Beautiful. If nobody joins this, we'll just take the territory real quick, right? And then we'll move on into another one. That's the idea here. The Free States of America sided with Hesse against Communist Hesse. This is a European war. There's a big European war brewing up here, and actually nobody's really in it. Including the Free States of America, who I'm pretty sure just joined it, but whatever. Nobody's actually paying attention to our war, it seems. And that's great. We're very happy about that. I'm very, very pleased that no one is taking advantage of this war. I wouldn't mind France, like, trying to jump in here, and then we could take their North African territories. That would not be bad. I'd be reasonably okay with that. But if nobody wants to join in, that's fine. Remember, we can only do one of these at a time. We can't start up another one on these guys, despite the fact that we could win it. We can only do one diplomatic play at a time. So that's a pretty hard limit. We can have other diplomatic plays declared on us, but we can't do it ourselves. For now, that's okay. We're not too concerned about it. So our GDP dipped down briefly there, and now it's gone back up. So we're at 2.11 billion right now. Seems good. We'll take what territory we can over here. Nobody is going to join this. None of them. Not a single one. So war has broken out. Let's, for the moment, bump our taxes up to full. I want to pay debt. So we're going to do that. We're, of course, going to have no problem whatsoever breaking through this war. We're going to be paying off debt for a good amount of time here, and honestly, we're working through these pretty quickly. There's only 2 pages of construction left at this point. We're working on with about half of our construction, a little under half. Seems good. We're almost certainly going to need more infrastructure, of course, and Lancashire is actually fine. Luristan's going to need 2, Kenya, yep, okay, we'll get a few of these railways queued up. That's all okay. This war is virtually over. It is over. They just don't know it yet. This is broken out into 2 fronts. Okay. Moroccan aristocratic revolt. Russia decided to get involved in that. Okay, that's interesting. Well, we're just going to push through here. This is not a problem. And then, of course, we are going to press our war goal here. Wonderful. So this is absolutely fine. No problem whatsoever. We're going to get these coal mines and iron mines finished up. That's basically all we need at this point, is we're like 6 weeks out, not counting our railways. So that's going to bump up 1.4 million or so in our income. Seems good. Democratic solidarity? Sure, whatever. This battle's over. They just don't know it yet. We've actually had no dead people. 0.00 dead people. Cool. That's a good amount of dead people to have. So, now we're going to have to wait for them to actually accept this. They're fully occupied. Chemical warfare was just unlocked, and we can actually definitely do that. So we would hop over here from flamethrower companies over to chemical weapon specialists. It's very ethical. Extraordinarily so. So that is, in fact, exactly what we're going to do. And we can see that we are at 67,000 power projection, and we have so much more that we can scale up our military by. Max Health System Institution Investment. Do we not have that maxed? We do not. And we actually can't go up because of the bureaucracy. Okay, so in that case, we should consider building... We needed how much? Like 2,000 bureaucracy? 3,000. Okay. So we should build ourselves a fair number of government administrations, and each of these produce 100 bureaucracy. So we should consider bumping this up to, I don't know, at least like 42 here. Yes, that should do the trick. So that'll be fine. We'll get those underway. And are those all constructing at once? They are. So this is just going to take 15 weeks to build. No problem whatsoever. Our iron mines are going to be done in 1 week. So that looks great. These guys are losing 15 per week due to exhaustion. Yeah, 10 because they're 100% occupied. Okay, that sounds great. So they're going to go negative here. That probably means that they're going to be willing to accept this peace deal. 81 reasons still. Okay. With almost all of those being short duration of war. Sure. So what can we get for our legitimacy? We're the best we can get. Okay. We're a legitimate government right now, and that is good enough for our radicalism. It's definitely not perfect, but it is good enough, and we're paying down this debt pretty quickly, to be honest. Yeah, that's going pretty well, all things considered. 12 weeks on those government administrations, and then we've got the railways, and that's just it, right? So we've got very little construction left to do here. We'll have a little bit once we conquer this, but I don't expect that there's actually all that much to do in here. What do we have here? Kind of nothing. Okay, that's exciting stuff. Just a whole lot of nothing there. This government reform is useless, and I wish we could right-click it to make it go away like in other Paradox games, but we can't. We're not going to utilize it. Are they willing now? 25 reasons. 70 of those due to short duration of war. Okay. Well, here on this next tick, they should be willing to. So any moment now. There we go. Fantastic. So now we're, of course, going to hop in here. There are no agriculture to build. There's no resources to build either. So that's fine. The state actions, we shouldn't need to incorporate anything. Nope. And we probably do need to reset production methods over here. And now we can attack Karagwe. So we're going to do exactly that, and we'll see if anybody wants to join in on that one. Join in on our fun here. So in we go to Karagwe, and that's the final Great Lakes state. So that'll be absolutely great. There's a Tripolitanian liberal revolt against us as well, which we're going to send Harold Willie out to handle. Should be no problem. We'll see if anybody joins either of these. Obviously, we'll need to have all of them handled before we can declare another war. So that'll be fine. Hi, radical Scandinavia. That is a very radical Scandinavia. Okay. Well, I wish them luck with that one. I wish them luck with that indeed. So our standard of living has dropped off a little bit. That's to be expected given our taxation situation. We do have access to carriers now, and changing over to carriers at this point is absolutely no problem. We are reasonably happy about that, actually. We probably require additional infrastructure. Actually, no. We're doing okay on that. We should, however, make sure that all of our railways are subsidized, and they are, so that looks great. No issues whatsoever there. Beautiful. So, technologically, we've got very little left to work on. We're working on... We have basically everything that we want in military. We're missing the modern battle fleet tactics, right? That's definitely a thing that we don't have right now. In society, we are getting mass propaganda at this moment. That is number 5 in our queue. So I'm actually going to remove that from our queue. And we can add in... Oh, okay, oil and Luriston. That's fine. We can add in something. Are all of these queued? They're all queued. Okay, that's fine. So oil and Luriston is definitely something that we want to take action on, right? Oh, and that's a lot of oil. 22 additional oil rigs to be built in Luriston. I like it. That's absolutely great. So that's 19 weeks away from being done. And encourage that trend. Oil is the future until it isn't. We're probably going to require an additional railway or 2 in Luriston as well. I'm going to queue up 2. That'll be fine. We'll just get those on the way. And there's all those government administrations done. We should immediately see our bureaucracy jump on the next week tick as we start to get employees in there. Any moment now. There's a week tick. Yeah, 1.36k. Beautiful. We can't work up our institution just yet. We need 3,000 bureaucracy to do that. But we'll get there pretty soon. So that should be fine. We're still going to be ramping up on that for a bit. No issues here at all, really. We're running a solid surplus and paying down our debt, down to 131 million. It's really not bad. I want to get that interest out of being paid, so we want to get that under control. And then we'll cut our taxes back down, is the idea. So that'll be absolutely fine. And then, of course, once we're out of these diplomatic plays, we're going to declare some more. Cool. 14 weeks on those oil rigs, so... Yeah, that construction efficiency is still a little bit low, but it's not too bad. Every single thing that we're building is in Luriston now. I just noticed that. That's kind of entertaining. Wonderful. Our GDP is flagging a little bit, and that's probably because our construction is. Our standard of living is definitely flagging as well. That is due to taxation. So I'm not too concerned about that right now. For the time being, this war is going to break out. Where's the diplomatic play for this? I guess it's here? Yeah. Nobody's thinking about helping Tripolitania, so they're definitely going to lose here. Everybody loses when they fight us. And it almost seems like France has figured that out. So chemical warfare was successfully completed. We've mildly committed war crimes. All is fair in love and war. After all, if the world doesn't like how we conduct war, how are they going to stop us? Exactly how? By war? Because that's not going to work. So we're fine. We're absolutely fine here. We're going to push on through, and we'll have this fully occupied pretty quickly. The Tripolitanian liberal revolt is no problem either. They're just going to get crushed. Absolutely crushed. At this point, our technology is insane militarily. We have every military tech in the game except modern battle fleet tactics, which we don't really care about. And our society is nearly maxed out as well. Mass propaganda is currently being innovated. And of course, we're working on compression ignition to get additional coal, iron, lead, sulfur, gold. All that's pretty good. We're going to need more oil, of course, and that's certainly something that we can do. The price on oil isn't super high right now, though, unlike iron and wood. However, that might drive up the price of iron. Or rather, the price of oil, I should say. So that's definitely a thing that could happen. We have apparently a front that broke out over here. Doesn't really matter. Because we're going to have that conquered, and then we'll move back. Yeah, that's completely fine. This is under control now. So we need to come over to Karagwe and conquer Karagwe. They're trying to liberate Madagascar. Hilarious. That's not going to go well for them. It seems like France and Russia have learned that they shouldn't interfere in our wars. That definitely seems to be something that they have learned. And, I mean, that's definitely a lesson that they should learn. They've lost a lot, particularly Russia. Russia lost a lot of its more valuable oil-producing provinces. There's more oil-producing provinces in Russia, obviously, but they lost a lot of them. A good chunk. So I'm very pleased about that. How are we doing on that debt? We're under 100 million of debt now. That's going down really fast. 4 million a week is kind of insane, for the record. Yeah, that's very nuts. So we're going to have that debt paid off quite soon, and then once that is done, the goal is, of course, to cut taxes at that point. Our construction has definitely reduced substantially. The investment pool? Yeah, that's fine. I want to take a look at what is currently expensive. Raw resource, raw resource, raw resource, raw resource, raw resource. Artillery. Artillery, huh? We can do something about that. So we can definitely go into our... Well, actually, let's take a quick look at our arms industries. So somewhere like Lancashire. Okay. So the core issue here is not that we need more arms industries. The core issue is that we need more hardwood. Fair enough. Not a lot we can do about that at this time. We don't have any additional logging camps that we can do. And our logging camps are currently entirely maxed. So we would just need to conquer more territories in which we could build logging camps. That's the overall answer there. We can definitely crank up our health system, which we would be delighted to do. Are they willing to give us their territory yet? No, they're not. What are we going to get out of this anyway, resources-wise? Probably not much. 2 rubber plantations. I mean, a couple of coal and iron mines. We might find additional resources here, but there's not a lot there, to be honest. So that's completely fine. We're going to pay down our debt here. We're only like 15 weeks away from getting our debt fully paid off. So that's great. We need to eliminate these 2 before we can declare another war. So to that end, they would not accept this peace deal yet. Perhaps next week. Yes. Done. Okay, so naturally we're going to reset production methods. Actually, they're already aligned with the national standard. That's cool. And we can build 2 rubber plantations. Not a huge deal there, but that's fine. And how are we doing on infrastructure? 2 in Luristan would actually be fine. We're going to need 2 here, 2 here, and 1 here, and 1 here. Okay, so we'll get some railways going there. This government administration, or these government administrations, are unnecessary, and same with that motor industry. We don't need that. So we can cancel all of that, and we'll build the rubber plantations, we'll build the railways. That seems completely okay. So now that the Great Lakes region is conquered, who do we want to go after next? Down here? Over here? Horn of Africa? Start conquering West Africa? Maybe. Maybe. These are the regions where there's going to be the most wood production, right? Logging camps are something we're actually very interested in acquiring. What does Orange have? 7. 5. 9. Unused arable land, but 2. 7. 2. Yeah, there's just not a lot over here, to be honest. Indeed. There's just not a lot. We could kick Portugal out and just be like, look, You've got stuff here. Actually, that's France. You've got stuff here. You've got stuff here. You've got stuff in Africa. These are things we want. That is an option. Certainly. And I kind of don't hate it. Portugal's turbo weak. Yeah, let's do it. So we currently can't. Right, because we're in this. I'm dumb. We need to wait for this to end. So that'll have to capitulate, but then I think we can go for Portugal. But it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, I may decide on something different. We'll see. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and oh, hello. Hang on. They just capitulated. So we're out of this. Okay, beautiful. And a very special thank you, as I was saying, before we were rudely interrupted by that diplomatic message, to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Shadow Wolf, Andy McGar, Spartan News, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Soccerman12 UK, Kentogan, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.